Hello everyone, my name is Sadashiv and this is my submission for Sprint 10 Data Storm. So from Sprint 9 to Sprint 10, the major difference would be migrating from in-memory storage to cloud database, that is MongoDB Atlas, using Mongoose. So the earlier post and user operations and their data, whichever was being stored in in-memory, now will be stored in the cloud database. Let us know that, and the rest of the things would be same, the API testing or the method testing basically. So these are the endpoints that we're going to test. So this is the login endpoint, and this would be creating a new user, and this would be getting post. So this would be getting post using specific ID, and this would be updating. This would be creating a new post, of course, and this endpoint will be for updating an existing post using an ID. So next would be deleting the post using ID. Finally, we will have a get method where we will get the recent top 3 posts. We will also see something called as populate method that will populate the user and email and their email or the basic stuff into the post by using populate method. Let us know that also. So to start, we will first connect to the database, that is npm run dev. So using nodemon, we do it, and we can see that the MongoDB is connected. It has no error in the connection. So this clears that the connection is successful and it is connected to port 5000 also. Now quickly, when we check over here, this is the cluster and this is going to be the data explorer. So from here, we need to connect it. So our data will be stored in these two modules, that documents basically. So let us quickly test the endpoints also. So this is the localhost one, and the deployed one is this, the same code I deployed in this, and the deployed URL will be this. So either of these we can use to test it now. Let us take this URL, and we're going to test using the Thunder. So Thunder is the Chrome new request, and so this is going to be the default home URL, and we will be getting response request from here, and response will be shown here. Let us wait till we get the response. Right, we got the same. The data API is running as the response, which says that it is all working fine. So the first endpoint that we will test would be login. So for login, we will be using post, and we need to pass a body. That is, we need to pass the username and password. So the username is admin, let's say. So this is the mock testing to verify the login or authentication endpoint. Next comes the password, and mistake on here. So we got that the login is successful. Of course, we will not be using this, but to just know how the login authentication or the request and response would work, this is how it will work. And next comes getting the post. Post is nothing but something like piece of information that we will be creating based on IDs and content, something like that. So this method, the first method, get post, it gets all the list of posts that we have. So these are the list of posts that we have, and these are the specific IDs, title, content, and created at. And let's say we want to create, now we have four posts, right? Let's say I want to create a new post, and for that I will be using, or let's say first we will create a new user first. So for that we will be using post users. So this will create a new user, and it says we need email. So we need to pass the body, that is name is required. Name is, let's say, Thunder. We need email also. So the email would be thunder at the rate. So these are the two parameters that we need to pass. And we have this that the user is created successfully, and we have this over here to check whether it is created really in the database or not. We can navigate to the user section, and we should be finding the Thunder as the new user created, right? So here we have Thunder. So this is going to be the ID of it. So based on this ID, we will be going further to create post and other things. So we will quickly copy this. And now I would want to create a new post. So that would be, method would be post, and the URL would be something like post. So for this also we need to pass the body, and to create a post we will need the following parameters, like same over here, like title, content. So the title is Thunder is testing API, and let's say content is the API is working. We will have something like author ID. So basically this Thunder will create a post like this. That is what we want to track or mean. So this should be enough, I guess. And so yeah, we can see that the post is created successfully, and the post will also have its own ID, and the author will have their own ID as well. So we can see the post being created in the post document folder or the post document, where we should see that Thunder. Yeah, so we can see that the API is working, the post is created. So this method is done, it is working fine. Now moving to the next method, we have get post. We already done that, I guess, and this should get all of the post available. So it should be 5. Yes. So using the populate function that we have over here, so this will fill or link the user to the post by using user ID. So this is where it comes into picture. Like for each post, when we call the function populate, this populate will uh, link the user details for specific post over here from the author ID. So this is where the populate function is called. So that's about the populate function, and we are done with get method also. So this was the populate function is actually the important requirement mentioned in the sprint 10. So next we have updating the existing post. For that we will be using put. And let's say I want to update some post that is my first MongoDB. This is the ID, and I want to update any content into this. Let's say I want to update the title, right? So for this, I have to route with post and the ID, post ID, of course, and whatever parameter or whatever value I want to change, I have to enter the new value over here. Let's say title is now it is my first MongoDB. This should be my last MongoDB test, and this should update it. Right. So we got a successful response that the post is updated successfully and the title is also updated successfully. This also happens in the same way in the MongoDB as well, the cluster I mean. So if we refresh this, we should see the last post title containing post. So this is it. My last MongoDB test, we just updated it. Right. This method is also working fine. Let's see the delete method. Or let's say we get the recent top 3 methods first, top 3 posts first. So for that, we need to use the get method to get the top 3 posts. So we have the recent top 3. So I need to put the posts over here. So we can see that the based on timestamp created or updated at, we have the top 3 posts, and this is how the top 3 method or recent top 3 endpoint works. Last we have delete post using ID. Let's say I want to delete the last MongoDB test. I would copy the ID, and for delete method, I'm going to use the delete, of course, and it should be after the post. So the post should be deleted. It says post deleted successfully, and when we try to see over here, this should be not there present, and it should be deleted now. Right, we can see that there is no last MongoDB test kind of post. So this is how the delete also works. So we successfully tested all of those methods and endpoints that uh, work fine. This confirms that data is persisted in MongoDB Atlas and it is not stored in memory. So the sprint 10 thus demonstrates MongoDB Atlas integration, Mongoose schemas, CRUD operations, document relationship using object ID references, the populate function, of course, aggregation through recent post, the top 3 ones, and middleware, and the environment variable security. So whatever the connection things or stuff we have, that is securely stored in environment variables. And thus we have successfully tested all of the APIs endpoints. And thank you.